Hello, my name is Wayne Hiram. I'm originally from Hawaii. I was born there on the 4th day of November, 1950. I moved here to Provo, Utah in January of '80 to go to the BYU in Provo. I have been here since that time. I guess it's about 23 years now. I feel I have a very important message to share with the world. I've been following the progression of the war in Iraq, and I have been very interested to see the conduct of our government with this war since I was in the military back in I joined the military back in 1969, and at that time I didn't think much of our government, but I've done much study and research, in-depth research since that time. It was because of a very powerful experience that I received when I joined the military in 1969. In October, I joined the military in February of 1969, and in October of 1969, I had a very powerful experience while I was stationed at my first duty assignment in Bangor, Maine. I was at a TAC fighter base, a small base on Bangor. At that time, it was Bangor International Airport, and we had a couple of fighters, or a couple of 106 fighters, a couple of 102s, and I stayed there for about a year, about 12 months. And while there, after that experience that I had in October, and I won't go into the detail of what that experience was, simply because of time. I, however, would like to just say that it was a very powerful spiritual experience that I had, coming to terms with my own spirituality, my own spiritual life, my own death, coming face to face with my possible death, being in the military at that time during the Vietnam War. I came one-on-one with God while I was there, and because of that very intimate experience that I had with God, coming to know that His love is truly real. I've never ever felt such a powerful love like that in my whole life. And because of that experience, I decided to do my utmost in dedicating my life to God and in seeking out the path of peace in my life and in the lives of my fellow man. I discovered in a newspaper while I was stationed in Bangor, Maine. 3 books, Plato, Aristotle, Marcus Aurelius. It was being advertised in a newspaper at that time, and I decided to send away for these 3 books after my experience, my spiritual experience in October of that year, 1969. And I dedicated myself to study not only these 3 books, but I also studied all the questions, studied books regarding all the questions that I had regarding this life, UFOs and what have you, whatever my mind was troubled with concerning the things that I've never experienced, but must take other people's word for it. So instead of just simply taking their word for it, I just decided to study on my own, for my own self, an in-depth research regarding reality, regarding life here in the United States, and the main reason, I guess, why I decided to do this was because of the bewildering circumstances of my youth, where I was brought up in a seemingly oppressive family life, where I felt that my family were being victimized by the Howleys, and constantly I grew up with the feelings coming from them of the suppression of the Hawaiian people. So I searched deeply within my heart the truth. What was the truth? Why was this nation? Why was I born in this nation? Why did I grow up in an oppressive, in a family background that felt oppressed by the dominant white race? Myself, I'm part Cherokee Indian, according to my mother, coming from Oklahoma, and my name was William in my youth, and which was changed to Wayne, I think when I was about 5 years old. According to my mom, my dad's name is William Surratt. So I grew up in these situations not knowing who my dad was, because my mom and dad never married, and just awkward circumstances, not normal circumstances in the normal sense of family and society. So I grew up with all of these questions and seeking deep for the answers. I went to Korea from Bangor, Maine. I missed Vietnam, and I went to Korea for a year and stayed there, and all I did was study. Going to the library and studied day in and day out whenever I was not working. I was a security policeman in the United States Air Force. And while my friends would go downtown and get involved with their personal activities downtown,